our patterns, our purpose, our journey, um, they're all connected. The things that we go through, um, they are there to help you to grow. They're there to help you to find yourself and to find that part of who you are within. I absolutely enjoy the things that I go through on a daily basis that I face off against that give the ability within to believe in ourselves and to believe in our dreams. Um, and it's just amazing what we can find when we start to seek out after our ability. Our mentality, it really is an amazing thing when you have challenges and you start to find a way to overcome. You start to find a way to use your gifts, your abilities start to open up. Um, you know, I I just had to start getting out there and starting to ask those types of questions, um, and to start to ask those types of ability within ourselves of what it means to be who you are within, to what it means to use your gifts, your talents, um, and your abilities. The biggest thing that comes out is how we build ourselves, what it is that you're looking to achieve. And, you know, I have always been working to get to that place inside where it didn't matter what was going on around, it was about what was going on inside. The ability to focus to that point where you're sitting down and you're actually getting something from the things that you're doing on a daily. You're sitting down and the things, the dreams that you're chasing after um, are happening. And so, you know, when I sat in front of the camera for the first time and I started doing the first videos, it started to remind me that there is absolutely more to this story. The story of ourselves is very important. The story of what we can achieve, what we can overcome, what we can manifest. And as I manifest, and as we manifest our universe, as we manifest our ability, when we start to see this great thing that we live in that's called the universe, the relation with the Most High starts to increase. The ability for you to start to see what it means to be yourself, to be who you are within, to find a way to overcome, starts to open up. And it really starts to um, grow. And I think back to when I was doing energy readings and I was sitting there in front of the computer just using meditation to help people to understand what's going on within, to understand what it takes to go within, to overcome and to face off against challenges. A lot of the times you can overcome those types of things when you look within for the answer, when you look within for the solution. And so when you start to find ways to look at how to overcome those types of things, you will start to grow. You will start to believe in yourself and believe in your being, that you can overcome things. But you have to believe in who you are and believe in your ability. Your mentality is extremely important. Your internal dialogue is what will ultimately help you to overcome your challenges. You will start to believe that you have what it takes when you overcome those kinds of challenges. What things do we go through on a daily basis that start to open us up to the ability to overcome? The ultimate mindset that you can overcome your challenges by believing in yourself, by utilizing the universe, by utilizing the ability within, is just, it's amazing, right? So how can you use those type of things in such a way that you will believe in yourself? A lot of times the person who is seeking out the ability to overcome is often the one that's looking within who they are. When you are going against challenges on a daily basis, it's the one who doesn't give up, who continues to push forward even when they don't see a way, who ultimately finds the way to overcome. And so, how can we start to inspire ourselves to believe that we have what it takes, right? And what would it take for you to find that place inside of yourself where you have what it takes, where you have what it means to be who you are inside? It's important to understand our journey, to understand our path, and to utilize our purpose, and to find that kind of a way to overcome challenges. It's quite amazing when you start to become the one who uplifts other people, when you start to become the one who is not going to be stopped by the challenges within, and ultimately using that kind of mind space or ability within yourself to believe in you. You see, we sometimes forget that we have challenges for a reason. We have challenges to ultimately overcome. We look within ourselves for the answers when we're looking to be who we are, right? And when you ultimately are the answer to the challenges that you're facing off against, you can find a way to overcome them. I want you to start to become inspired through your own ability, your own mentality, to find that way that only you can. find that way that nobody else can for you. And by not being selfish, you will find that way. You will find that the challenges become an inspiration. They become a part of your great journey. You ultimately um, have the ability to be who you want to be. You have the ability to find yourself inside of your, your being, your purpose. And it ultimately comes from what you believe about yourself, your internal dialogue that will open you up to overcoming the challenges that we face off against on a daily basis. And so when you're facing something, when you might be going through something that's asking you what you're made of, you have what it takes to be yourself. You have what it takes to use your gifts, to use your talents. When your abilities start to open up, and no matter the challenges that you're facing off against, you can overcome those challenges. Um, it truly opens you up to amazing parts of your life opening up. And when your life starts to open up from within, when you start to see those types of things manifesting, it's like doors that open in front of you. They will find a way for you to overcome those challenges that you ultimately will face on a daily basis. So when you are seeking out the answers within yourself, remember that you are also the one that can open up to learning, that can open up to manifesting greatness, that can open up to manifesting ability. And that we sometimes limit ourselves from that place. We sometimes limit ourselves from the place where we can grow the most. I want you to recognize that you can believe in yourself, that your energy does matter, that your ability within who you are is very important, that you can use your gifts, your talents, your abilities on a daily basis, and that the people that are around you can be affected, that they can gain from your existence, from your internal growth, your internal ability to believe in who you are. Why is that important? Why is it important that you would believe in yourself, that you would believe that you have what it takes, that no matter the challenges that you face off against, that you can overcome those challenges? And ultimately, the reason why that matters is because you matter. The reason why those types of things come our way, that they come in front of us and they start to ask us what we're made of, is because when you're facing off against those things, that's when you start to grow. And your internal growth is where you will find the way to overcome. It's not just from the daily that you find yourself. You find yourself in the places where you might think they might be difficult. You find yourself in the places where nobody else is willing to go, the grind that nobody else is willing to put forward. And when you use your gifts, your talents, and your abilities in that kind of a place and in that kind of a way, you will start to become recognized for your being. And it's amazing what we open up to when we see ourselves grow, when we see ourselves overcoming challenge by being who we are within. The ultimate accomplishments are when you are being who you are and people enjoy you for you. When you start to see those types of things and those kind of things start to happen around you, you will ultimately believe in yourself. And when you start to believe in who you are within, your vibration starts to shine differently. Your ability to overcome starts to become a part of your process. And being that process and being that person that we are within is the reason why I ask those questions every day. When we're seeking out answers from within ourselves, when we're seeking out the solution from within, it's truly a process to be present inside of one's purpose, inside of one's path. And when we start to use our gifts and our talents in such a way that no matter the challenges that we're facing off against, we can overcome those types of things. And when we do overcome those types of things, we start to truly believe in ourselves, yeah? And when you start to truly believe in yourself, you start to truly walk differently. You start to truly move differently. Your ability to manifest, to believe that you have what it takes to be who you are within starts to become something different. You start to put in the effort. You start to put in the ability. Your mentality starts to open up. Your purpose starts to open up, and it truly gives you the ability to overcome what we have going on within. When we ultimately start to use our gifts, our talents, and our abilities to believe in who we are, then we start to overcome. When you spend time answering questions, when you spend time being within yourself and being within your being, when you start to focus on the outcome of being who you are within. Um, you will start to believe in yourself, and you will start to believe that you have what it takes. And when you're going through challenges, when you're facing off against those types of things, um, that you might not always know how to overcome, when you start to believe in yourself, and you start to believe in your ability, you can become great. You can become amazing when you put in the effort and you put in the time to achieve greatness. When you put in the mentality to achieve amazing things, when your challenges start to become something where you can overcome those challenges. See, a lot of the time, what we're ultimately seeking out is also seeking out after us. So, what does it mean to be yourself? What does it mean to ultimately use your gifts, your talents, and your abilities? When we are growing, we are sometimes looking at what it would mean to overcome challenge. See, the ultimate growth is to find that place inside of ourselves where we find ourselves, where we find our mentality, where no matter the challenges that we're facing off against today, we have the ability to overcome. What does it mean to become universally wealthy? What does it mean to use those types of things in such a way that no matter the challenges that you're going to face off against, you're going to overcome? And it's quite amazing, the freedom that's gained when you start to achieve that. When you start to believe in yourself and to believe in what your purpose on this journey is. It's not just on a daily that we face off against these things. A lot of times it's when we're growing, it's when we're putting in that kind of time, that kind of effort, and that kind of ability that we will find ourselves. It's it's really important that we seek out that kind of being, that kind of purpose inside of who we are. Like a lot of the people that are out there that are going to seek out after meditation, that are going to seek out after motivation, that are going to seek out after inspiration. Their goals are ultimately to become closer towards themselves. each day that I get out there, that I start to put out these videos, that they start to uplift people, that it might possibly bring you closer towards yourself, to your ultimate dreams, your ultimate mentality. It will open you up in amazing ways. And I have a podcast that's called Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration. I have a YouTube channel, Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration, Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration Yoga. And it's a part of the mindset that you can embrace your abilities within yourself, that you can overcome challenge by going within, by finding the way, that no matter if there isn't a way, you're going to make a way. And the universe, it will yield. The universe, it will become a part of your fire within. It will truly find the one that you're seeking out after, and it will find the one that you want to become. When you seek that person within yourselves for growth, when you seek that person within who you are as the ultimate ability to believe in who you are, you can ultimately start to overcome challenge by being who you are within. It is just amazing the types of things that some of you might have gone through, where if you had calculated, and if something had happened different, you wouldn't be here today. When you start to believe in yourself and you believe in your dreams, you will find that you're made of something amazing, that you're made of something that is beyond. And when you believe that you have what it takes within yourself, that you can overcome your challenges, that you can overcome those things that nobody else could do for you, then you start to find yourself, and you will find that your dreams start to become possible. I put these videos out not just for myself, but to inspire all of those that are out there, all of those that are trying to believe in themselves. I've been through some things that have brought me closer to who I am within. It's amazing the stories that we can share, the things that we can overcome and that we can manifest within ourselves, that nobody else would do for you, right? And if you find that your challenges might be heavy on you, that the things that you're going through sometimes are making you face off against things that you don't know how to overcome, start to look at what it means to be yourself, what it means to be who you are, that the blessing that you are inside is amazing, that you can overcome those challenges, you can use your gifts, you can use your talents, that you have what it takes within yourself to overcome. It's quite a process of being when the challenges that we face off against no longer have the ability to stop us. When we're sitting there utilizing our gifts, utilizing our talents, understanding what we're made of, what we're ultimately overcoming, and how we can use those challenges to our own yield. I often talk about why it's important for us to understand the universal yield, to understand the purpose behind you gaining your mentality is that you free yourself, that you ultimately become the one that you want to be within you, who you are. It's quite a process of being to put time in, to put effort into who we are when we are overcoming those challenges. It's only when you're facing off against those things that they show up. When you're sitting there and you're looking at what successes you have, do you also look at what it took you to get there? Do you put in the time, the effort, and the ability to gain that kind of access, to gain that kind of purpose, to where you truly have a place of growth, where you're writing things down, where you're speaking things into existence, where you're manifesting your ability within. See, a lot of people, they forget about that part of their journey, because if they were to focus on the part that comes from the growth within, they would be reminded that you're important. It's amazing when we're facing off against things, what opens up, what becomes that place. And you see, a lot of us forget about the place within ourselves. We forget about the place within our journey, because we allow the things that happen around us to sometimes become more important than what's going on within. When you start to become that person within you, when you start to use those kinds of abilities where you become the answer, when you start to become the solution, when you start to find the way when there is no way, right? So when you're at your weakest, you're also at your strongest, because when you are going through things and you look at what you're made of, when you look at what you can achieve, you will be surprised at the amazing things that you will start to achieve. One of those things that I have enjoyed is finding that place within where that is. What does it mean to be yourself? What does it mean to use your gifts, to use your talents? See, a lot of times we forget that it's amazing to face off against challenges. It's amazing to have things that are working for us. See, but we also, like our positions in our day. These are things that we accept within our minds. We accept them within our being, and they truly matter because you matter, because the light inside of you matters. So when you are going in your daily walk, if you remember that your walk is important, that you're important, that you have a journey, that you have a life path, that no matter the challenges that you face off against, you can overcome them. I could sit here and do energy reading after energy reading after energy reading, and ultimately, what would come out is the purpose of this journey, right? The purpose of this journey is to understand ourselves. It's to understand who we are within, to use that part of who we are in such a way that we are unique individuals, that we are unique within ourselves. When we are setting time into the mind, when we're setting time into the purpose within who we are, it ultimately will open you up to seek out after your journey. And I'm so grateful that we do take these types of times to put our efforts, our abilities, our mentalities into a place where that matters. I'm out here putting in the effort, the time, the ability to overcome those kinds of challenges so that way we could enjoy ourselves. We can enjoy our purpose, our path, our journey, but always remembering that we are part of a massive collective, that the universe's energy, the golden light within the universe, it utilizes your gifts. It will utilize your talents, and it will utilize your ability. I'm in awe at what amazingness can come out of believing in yourself. And when you go through something that is bringing you to the present moment, you're going through ultimately something that is bringing growth inside of yourself, you got to ask yourself that question. What is this doing for me? What is this process teaching me? What is this ability inside teaching me? Because the growth that we have inside, it ultimately brings you to a place and a seat of understanding, a seat of purpose, of journey. And your existence, your being is to be here to learn, to understand yourself, to understand the growth within you, the growth within your essence. And so when we're looking to become disciplined in understanding ourselves, what are some of the things that we sometimes forget to seek out after. We start to forget to seek out after simplicity. And so when we seek out after the simplest parts of who we are, often sometimes the hardest things is the foundations. And sometimes when you look at what foundations will actually do for you, you start to see that those foundations are what understanding universal yield is all about. It's about understanding that for each action there's an equal and opposite reaction. That if the smartest people that have understood science are saying things like become friends with the universe, if we're understanding that we have a purpose within this universe, that we have a part within our path within this universe, that when we truly start to allow the things that are meant for us to attract themselves to us, that we can truly start to overcome our own challenges. See, this universe gives the ability, and that's why the story of the talents is so important, because the talents teach us that what we are putting out is actually coming already ultimately from within. It's teaching us to use what we have inside of ourselves to overcome, to manifest, to start to see ourselves as the journey, see ourselves as the path, see ourselves as the purpose for what we're made of. And when we are starting, it is when we start to gain the most momentum. It's when we start to see beyond the challenges, when we start to see within for the mastery within ourselves. See, if you start to become broken to nothingness to find your way through, then that path has truly opened up in front of you to where you will start to see understanding. You will start to see that those things were bringing you closer towards your goals, your dreams, your abilities. Your manifestation ultimately becomes your journey. And when you're on that part of your path where you're starting to understand that universal yield, it will start to become your friend. See, this is what they were talking about when they were understanding using this universe, when they were talking about using it in such a way that it will work for you. You know, a lot of people get stuck on the things that they don't understand because they're not looking within for the answers. When you look within for the ability, when you look within truly for the mentality, then you start to dive deeper into understanding yourself. You start to dive deeper into using your gifts, your talents, and your abilities start to open up. And so when you're facing challenge, remember that you are only facing equations. You are facing calculated mentality, that you can take things one step at a time, that you can dig yourself out of that hole by allowing yourself to grow, by allowing yourself to embrace the challenges that are in front of you, that you can use your gifts, your talents, and your abilities in such a way that it will inspire others, that your own literal discipline will become that part of your path where no matter the challenges you're facing off against, you will start to overcome. And it's quite amazing what will start to attract itself to you when you start to believe in yourself, when you start to believe in what you're made of. You know, it's not just on a daily that we're seeking out our dreams. It's not just on a daily that we're looking for an ability. Our mentality is something that we wake up with on a daily basis. Our internal dialogue, our internal ability within who we are starts to open ourselves up to believe in who we are. And when we start to use our dreams, our goals, and our being in such a way that the universe has the ability to work, then those things start to become to you. They start to utilize your gifts. They start to utilize your talents. They start to utilize your ability within. And so, are we truly putting in our mind that kind of reflection? Are we putting in that kind of connection? Are we putting in that kind of growth? Are we putting in that kind of purpose to where we have what it takes within ourselves? See, when I put in this kind of time and this kind of effort into this journey, what does it mean when we're taking on those things? Are we accepting the challenges that we put in front of ourselves, that we put in front of who we want to become, that we want to manifest our destiny, manifest our being, to be able to start to speak those things into existence? It's amazing how, even with no one in this room, it's reminding me of when I used to do energy readings and podcasts on, the Periscope. The amazingness, those people that absolutely supported me. They were there, to help me to start this journey. They were there to help me to start to use these kinds of gifts, to use these kinds of abilities. And so, inside of this place where we are right now, inside of this place where we are using those kinds of parts of ourselves, that's where the ability to write stuff down comes and opens it up to you. The ability to speak what your mind can achieve, what your mind can achieve. If you can see it, you can achieve it. Andrew Carnegie wrote a quote that actually manifests itself on a daily in the professional aspect of our lives. And so when you start to achieve your dreams, when you start to achieve your goals, when you start to use your ability and your mentality starts to open up, then you start to get known for the person that you are within. That part of your journey, that part of your path is a part of your purpose. And, putting in these videos when there's no one around is as important as putting them in when the energy is there. The connection within the universe, the ability to understand ourselves, to understand our being, to understand our purpose, is that it becomes attracted by believing in yourself, by believing that you already have it within who you are, that you're able to achieve greatness by being who you are. And ultimate wealth is to understand oneself, to be sufficient within one's being, to be sufficient within one's journey, that would become the story of you, that it would become the story of what they would write about you, that your mentality was great, that you walked this earth, that you took the ability within to overcome challenge, no matter the challenges that were thrown in front of you, that the universe will yield. And part of that for me has been the ability to utilize the vessel of vehicles that are vessels to help people, to allow the process of being there for them to grow Often we look at things and we look at how things are, but do we look within how the process, the intention is? The intention of how we go about things is as important as what we're doing. And so when we seek out that place, our paths, our purposes, our journeys, our professions become a part of our being. They become a part of our daily walk, a part of our daily journey. And when we are embracing those types of things, when those types of things come up against you and they ask you what you're truly made of, when they ask you what you truly can achieve, you can achieve greatness when you look within your mind, when you look within your vibration, your very essence, your very discipline of being yourself, the ability to ask yourself how many years I've been on the face of this planet, how many years have I been going through this part of my journey, this part of my path. Have you embraced your life's journey? Have you embraced your ability within yourself to overcome those kinds of challenges? See what I'm saying? And that is what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about what it takes to be yourself, what it takes to use your gifts, what it takes to use your ability. And, the person who finds this is wealthy. The person who wants to be within this, that wants to be present, that wants to carry this journey on its path, on its purpose, on its process, right? So when we're breathing, we're ultimately learning how to understand this being. We're ultimately learning how to understand this journey and the ability to use this as a gift, the ability to use this as a part of your path and your mindset is to open up to allowing those things to attract themselves to you. This is why it's called universal wealth, because it already exists within you. It's the external that's working towards you that ultimately will open you up to overcoming your challenges, to open you up to ultimately understanding yourself and ultimately understanding what you're made of. See, it already exists. It's already around you. It's already waiting for you to open your mind, to open up your ability to believe that it can come to you when you allow it to become the part of the process of you. And so this is where the field trip is within ourselves. The field trip is that place where we use ourselves and understand and study who we are, understand and study the processes that we go through, the things that we face off against on a daily basis that are helping us to grow within. When we use those places within ourselves that help us to grow, we ultimately become that reflection outwards. And so when we're utilizing this in our professions, this is why they call them professionals, because they study the thing to the point where people seek out after them. They study the thing to where they master that craft. They master that part of their purpose. They master that part of their journey. And when you're using your craft in such a way that the knowledge within you becomes a reflection of meditation, then people seek you out for your place of mind, your place of connection, your place of universal wealth. And the understanding of this is what we call meditation. The understanding of this is using your gifts, using your talents in a way in which you become a place of reflection, where you become a place of simplicity, of internal breath, of focusing to that point where the knowledge within you becomes sufficient. When you recognize that it already exists inside of you, then the ability for it to reflect outwards that ability for it to become a discipline, to become professional, to become a part of your journey, to become a part of your path starts to open up. And when you light up this world in which it is already working in the process with you, then you start to become a reflection of inspiration. You start to become something great. You start to become something amazing. And when your journey starts to become embraced and it starts to become recognized for that part, you will start to see that you have what it takes within yourself to overcome your challenges. You have what it takes within yourself to be who you are within. What a blessing it is that in this time and day and state, we can find that place within ourselves and within our beings to overcome challenge, to ultimately believe in who we are within. I want you to start to become inspired to where you will find that place within yourself. You will find that place within your daily walk, to believe in you, that your connection with that person, that ultimate self-care, that ultimate self-honesty, that ultimate self-connection will radiate light outwards. It will radiate light from within who you are, that connection that you have. And when you start to find that place within yourself, uplift other people along with that. Uplift other people to the point where it's undeniable that you are a gift on this planet, that the things that are around us are less important than what is within you. The thing that is within you is amazing. The lights that are out there that shine brighter than the challenges that we face off against. The ability to see that person that you are as important. The ability to see that person that you are as a blessing. And, when you are inspired, share this message with other people. Connect. If you're listening to this message and it resonates with you, please leave a comment. If it might inspire you to lighten your day, to lighten your journey, to help you to allow those things to become a part of your process, to open the seed of knowledge of consciousness within yourself, to allow you to grow, to allow you to become your being, to become present within yourself, to utilize selflessness, then I hope this message meets you at the time where you're facing those challenges out there. The beauty, it already lights within. It's already inside of you. You just have to look inside for the ability to grow, the ability to use that part of your being. And when you use that part of your purpose, that's when the light around you starts to shine just a little bit brighter. You start to feel a little bit lighter. Your discipline becomes the reflection outwards from within your being, and your purpose becomes a little bit closer. I just want you all to have a blessed day. As always, blessings, 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 and namaste.